You probably won't believe this, but there are certain foods that actually help lower blood sugar, not just keep it steady. That's right. Some foods don't just avoid the spike, they actively support your body in managing diabetes better. The problem is, most people don't know what those foods are. Or worse, they're told to avoid everything and end up living off tasteless, boring meals. That stops today. In this video, we're going to break down the 7 best foods for diabetics. These are real foods, easy to find, easy to cook, and they're not just good for blood sugar, they're good for your heart, your energy, your gut, and your long-term health. You'll get science-backed insights, practical examples, and some underrated foods you might not expect. So whether you've just been diagnosed, you've been managing diabetes for years, or you're just trying to take better care of your blood sugar, this video will give you real tools that work. Let's dive in. Now, before we get into the list, let's get one thing straight. Diabetes is not just about avoiding sugar. Yes, sugar plays a role, but your overall diet, fiber intake, healthy fats, and even your gut health can all impact your blood glucose levels. That's why the focus shouldn't just be on what you can eat, but what you should eat more of. All right, first up, and no surprise here, is leafy greens. Think spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collards, arugula. These greens are nutrient-dense, super low in carbs, and high in magnesium, vitamin C, and fiber. Why is this important? Because magnesium helps regulate insulin sensitivity, and fiber slows the absorption of carbs, which helps prevent spikes in blood sugar. In a 2010 meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal, researchers found that increasing leafy green consumption was strongly associated with a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. The best part? You can toss greens into everything. Scramble them into eggs, blend into smoothies, throw them in soups, or build a giant salad. Just go easy on sugary dressings. Olive oil and lemon juice is a great go-to. Now let's talk about a food that often gets overlooked: chia seeds. These tiny seeds are rich in fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and plant-based protein. But here's the real benefit. When chia seeds absorb water, they expand into a gel-like texture that slows down digestion. This helps prevent blood sugar spikes after meals. One study published in Diabetes Care showed that people with type 2 diabetes who added chia seeds to their diet had improved blood sugar control and reduced markers of inflammation. Try making chia pudding by mixing the seeds with unsweetened almond milk and letting them soak overnight. Add cinnamon, a few berries, and you've got a blood sugar-friendly breakfast or snack. Next up, berries. Yes, berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Berries are proof that not all fruit is off-limits for diabetics. Unlike bananas or pineapples, berries have a low glycemic index and are packed with antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins. And get this, studies show that berries may even help improve insulin sensitivity. In one clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, participants who consumed berries with high-carb foods had significantly lower insulin responses than those who didn't. Berries are great on their own, stirred into yogurt, or blended into smoothies. Frozen berries work just as well as fresh. Just make sure there's no added sugar. Speaking of yogurt, let's move on to fermented foods, specifically plain Greek yogurt. Gut health and blood sugar? Absolutely connected. More and more research shows that your gut microbiome plays a major role in how your body handles glucose. Fermented foods like plain Greek yogurt contain probiotics, which help feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. A study from 2014 found that people who consumed yogurt regularly had a significantly reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes. But here's the key. You've got to go for plain, unsweetened yogurt. The fruit-flavored ones are often loaded with added sugar. Top it with chia seeds and berries, and now you've got 3 diabetes-friendly foods in one simple meal. All right, now it's time for a true blood sugar superstar: beans and lentils. Beans are high in soluble fiber and protein, which helps slow down digestion and stabilize blood sugar levels. Lentils, black beans, chickpeas, they're all great options. In one study published in the Archives of Internal Medicine, people with type 2 diabetes who ate a cup of legumes daily had significantly lower blood sugar and improved cholesterol levels. Another plus? Beans are incredibly versatile. Add them to soups, stews, salads, or make your own healthy veggie burger. Just rinse canned beans well to reduce the sodium. Now let's talk about a healthy fat that's not just okay for diabetics. It's actually beneficial. I'm talking about avocado. Avocados are loaded with monounsaturated fats, fiber, and potassium. The fats help keep you full, stabilize your blood sugar, and even improve heart health. A big deal since diabetics are at higher risk for heart issues. One study in the Journal of Nutrition found that people who added avocado to their meals had lower post-meal insulin levels compared to those who didn't. Add slices to your salad, mash it into guacamole, or just eat it with a spoon and a pinch of sea salt. Just watch your portion size. About a third to half of an avocado per meal is usually enough. And last but definitely not least, cinnamon. Okay, technically not a food in the traditional sense, but this spice has real science behind it when it comes to blood sugar control. Cinnamon contains compounds that may mimic insulin and increase glucose transport into cells. In a meta-analysis of randomized trials published in Annals of Family Medicine, cinnamon intake was associated with significantly lower fasting blood glucose levels. Sprinkle it on oatmeal, mix it into your coffee, or add it to smoothies or Greek yogurt. Just make sure you're using Ceylon cinnamon if possible, which is safer for long-term use than the more common cassia type. Let's take a quick breather and recap what we've covered so far. If you're managing diabetes, the key isn't to eat less, it's to eat smarter. Build your meals around foods that naturally support healthy blood sugar levels. Leafy greens for nutrients and fiber. Chia seeds to slow digestion and reduce spikes. Berries for antioxidants and low glycemic load. Greek yogurt for probiotics and gut support. Beans and lentils for steady energy and fiber. Avocados for healthy fats and satiety. And cinnamon to boost insulin sensitivity. Combine 2 or 3 of these in every meal, and you're on your way to a balanced blood sugar day. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler you keep it, the more likely you are to stick with it. You can make a breakfast of Greek yogurt, chia seeds, and berries. Lunch? A salad with leafy greens, lentils, avocado, and grilled chicken. Dinner? Bean chili with a side of steamed greens. It's all about real food, real ingredients, and building habits you can enjoy. And here's the most important part. Your body can improve. Even if you've struggled for years, your metabolism, your blood sugar response, and even your insulin sensitivity can get better with the right choices, consistency, and support. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like. It helps more people discover content that supports their health. And if you've got favorite diabetes-friendly foods or recipes that work for you, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're eating. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. We've got more practical, science-backed tips coming your way, from blood sugar hacks to meal prep strategies and everything in between. Thanks for watching. Take care of your body, fuel it with real food, and I'll see you in the next one.